Welcome back. Great to have you with me again. As always, it's an honor and a privilege to walk alongside you and help you as you make these lifelong transformational changes to your mindset and your body. If you have any questions or thoughts about today's topic, please note them down and we'll chat about them at the next session. So let's get straight into it. Today's mindset topic is your reason for eating. To start with, we're going to talk about you, all about you. You are a complex biomechanical system. There's a lot of key hardware parts like your bones, your muscles, your organs, and a lot of interdependent systems, your immune system, your digestive system, your cardio system, your nervous system, and so forth. Everything works together cohesively for you to function well. And think of your car for a moment. Your car has an engine, and the engine works cohesively with a whole heap of other hardware components and systems in order to drive those wheels forward. Now, your car needs a good quality fuel source. It needs good clean fuel and the right quantities for it to work effectively. Just like your car, you also need the right fuel to work effectively. Now, like your car has an engine, you have not just one engine, but about 1 quadrillion engines called mitochondria. Mitochondria are the tiny little organelles deep inside the cells of your body that work really, really hard every single day and night, constantly to create and release energy. So you can do a number of key things like see, think, move, hear, heal. Food that you put in your mouth, it's broken down into its substrates, into fats, carbs and sugars and protein. And as that food gets broken down and transfers out to the cells, that mitochondria grabs the energy from the food that you've eaten and releases it so you can do all those awesome things. Now, every cell in your body has at least 1,000 mitochondria and anywhere up to 10,000 mitochondria, or about 1 quadrillion total mitochondria, total little engines in your whole body. So your eye, for example, in every cell, there is about 10,000 mitochondria in each cell that helps you to see, to take in information. And so it's extraordinary. We have about a 1 quadrillion of these tiny little engines that work day and night, even when you're sleeping, to create and release energy. Now, food primarily is a fuel source. We're talking about your reason for eating. The food that enters your mouth, it's broken down from the mouth through the esophagus, broken down even further through acid in the stomach, and then through the small intestine, out to the liver, to the bloodstream, and then it's transferred out to the different cells. So you can do a number of those key things like moving and seeing and thinking and hearing. Now, food primarily has to be thought of in terms of it's our daily fuel, like your car needs fuel for it to work effectively. Our bodies extrapolate the energy that is stored in the food that we eat to power our mitochondria so they create and release the energy. This is the crux of today's topic. Food is primarily your fuel source. Now, there is a bit of an issue here. Therein lies the rub, essentially. Too much food and too many bad food choices, they inflame your cells and cause your mitochondria to be less efficient. They're less productive at creating and using energy to do important stuff. Okay, so when we eat too much food, in particular too much bad food, those tiny little engines, those 1 quadrillion mitochondria engines, they are simply relegated to the job of janitors. They're working overtime, working their little backsides off, just doing maintenance and cleanup work to try and compensate for all the bad food that you're putting into your mouth. Those mitochondria are getting tired, they're getting overworked, and they're just doing the absolute bare ass minimum, sorry to be crass, just so you can perform at your absolute minimum requirement, so you can think, move, go about your day, but you're not working anywhere near as efficiently as what you could if you're fueling your body with good clean fuel, good clean food in the right quantities. So the key fact, poor food choices, they stifle the work of your mitochondria, your tiny little engines, and subsequently they will rob us of the energy that we could otherwise be using for the good stuff, like learning faster, sleeping better, getting stronger and fitter, recovering from a workout, responding well to stress, and keeping in control of our moods. If we're fueling our body well with good quality food choices in the right quantities at the right times, our mitochondria are going to love it, and they're going to reward you with all of this stuff here. Okay, but poor food choices rob us of the energy that we could otherwise be using for this stuff, and the mitochondria just simply do cleaning and maintenance jobs, which is why we often feel tired, fatigued, we get that brain fog, we sleep poorly, we're moody, we're grumpy, we can't remember things. It's because we're feeding ourselves with too much of too many bad food choices. The mitochondria are not performing anywhere near as good as what they could. Here's your key question for today. Why are you eating? Why are you eating? Even pause this video for a moment and consider the main reasons why you tend to eat. Is it for pleasure? Is it for fuel? Break it down a little bit. Maybe think of that 5 whys technique that we learned about in session number 1. All right, so if we're eating for energy, we're powering up our brains so they can think better, retain more information, focus better. You'll learn faster and you'll recover better from your workouts. Okay? But if we're eating for pleasure, we're eating because it tastes good. Okay, we love the flavor. Maybe we're eating for comfort because we feel like we've got that entitlement mentality. Maybe we've worked hard this week, or we've had a rough day and we feel like we're entitled to treat ourselves, but in actual fact, you're hurting yourself. Is it to self-medicate a feeling? We're feeling angry, depressed, lost, feeling like we're not loved, and we're eating to self-medicate to mask that feeling. Okay, so your homework for this week: before eating a meal or a snack, I want you to stop. Consider the reason why you are eating. If it's not for energy and for fuel, first and foremost, you probably don't need it. Start small by practicing little acts of self-control this week. Okay? If you are eating for those reasons that we just highlighted a moment ago, for masking a feeling, for comfort or for pleasure, other reasons for pleasure, then stop and don't eat. Start small, practice little acts of self-control this week. If you have any questions, any thoughts about today's topic around your reason for eating, write them down so we can chat about them in our next session. Well done. You're doing so well. Keep up the great work. Keep going with your homework, and thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next week. Here is your fist bump, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Much love. Speak to you next week.